So maybe like 15, 16, I, started going online and I managed to find all these videos of all these different YouTubers. And I thought it was really fun because, they just took out like 2 minutes of their day to make a funny video to make loads of people laugh.
I was just bored. My friends were gone. I had written down a bunch of ideas of making different videos, and I was going to make one about white girls in particular.
I thought, I enjoy making people laugh. Why not try and do it on a bigger scale?
I just stayed up like really late, like while everyone was asleep. I just recorded in the guest bedroom.
I literally just posted the link on my personal Facebook page, and from there, I'm assuming that my friends must have shared it with their friends, and from there it just escalated.
A lot of times I felt bad about that video. I was like, oh, I'm being so racist. I think it was a reflection of my experiences also being on a campus that was super, super white and dealing with that for the first time.
I didn't know that it was going to get this far. I just thought maybe, like 5 or 6 people would see it, but then it just sort of grew really, really fast. I get access to a lot of people through just making like a 2-minute or a 3-minute video.
Whereas traditional media, like trying to break into traditional media is like unbelievably hard, especially for minorities, especially when, the whole agenda of, 80% of the media is to promote Islamophobia.
There's not that many Muslim people who do comedy on there. Well, there are a few people, but there's not that many if you think about it, especially Muslim female women who do YouTube comedy.
Even just making YouTube videos shows people, hey, like she's a normal person. She went to college, like she had the experiences. Maybe sometimes they're a little bit different, but just to make Muslims seem more human.
Even if I'm a Muslim woman, if I just be myself, people will start to realize, they're different. They're not all one type.
I feel like this whole Islamophobic agenda has dehumanized us almost. Unless you're lighthearted, unless you make them laugh, I think that's when people are open to listening about, issues like racism, gender equality, whatever it may be. I think humor is a really good tool to get people to talk about it. The other thing with comedy that kind of annoys me is that that's all minorities in media are. We're just the joke.
When you do comedy, sometimes you pick on topics that normal people wouldn't pick on.
When I talk about Islamic stuff and like make fun of it, that might make people a little comfortable. And I do think that there are lines. And I wouldn't cross those lines. I don't know exactly what those lines are.
When it comes to Islam and religion, some people think that, Muslim women should hide away or be quiet or shouldn't be so loud spoken. And when you do comedy or when you do videos like this, you have to be outspoken. And so I think that's why some people are maybe scared of it, so they don't do it.
I don't really think that we have a choice. I think comedy is kind of the only space that minorities are allowed in. I have seen myself grow over the couple of years. I started off when I couldn't even get any of my videos to really reach 1,000 views, and now they reach that within like, a few hours. So I'm always constantly just trying to see like, what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And everything that I do, it's like a skeleton crew. It's just me. Maybe I'll get my friend, maybe I'll get my sister to focus the camera, but everything is just me. And I think it's starting to get really difficult.
One day I'll get a random idea based off something that's just happened to me on that day. Or sometimes it'll just be a story. Like
I talk in front of my camera and I edit out like 60-70% of that. Most of the hijabi YouTubers are beauty vloggers, and I'm not in that area at all. So they don't really talk to me.
Generally, we sort of try to collaborate with people who have the same amount of views as us or who have lower views than us. Because like the bigger people don't really look to work with us, if you know what I mean.
So I think right now I'm really, really behind everybody. For even people to even notice me, to be honest, within that community. I'm not like super popular, so I think I'd have to work really hard before I could even really build a network.
I think the other part that I probably don't like is probably when some people take things out of context, or when someone clicks onto your channel and they watch one video of you and they think that everything is completely wrong. And it's because, they haven't watched previous videos or they don't know about you personally. So then they think you're sharing a wrong message when really, they don't understand that that's your type of humor.
When you're on YouTube, you really have to be your biggest supporter, You have to believe in yourself because you can't convince other people to believe in you if you can't even do that.
I usually get messages, like on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, just saying, how much they like my work. Randomly, I'll have like the 1 or 2 people who are just like, what you do is really stupid. Why do you do it? But, everyone gets with everything.
I think that it's a lot easier online to just say whatever, you know.
When it comes to the online community, there's some people who actively seek out Muslim people, and like on the videos that are more related to Islam, they usually comment on those.
With that video, I kept taking it down and I'd put it up and then I'd take it down and I'd put it up because I think that was the first time also I was exposed to like the hatred that comes with being on YouTube, and I didn't really want to deal with it. So I just disabled the comments because I think I got sick of opening it and like seeing like just really, I mean, it got to a point where that video made it onto like a white supremacist website.
You do have the few crazies who you have to delete because they're like, you know, death to all of you, you must die. The most controversy, I think, was... I think it might have been the period one, because I said the word vagina and a lot of people were just like, how could you say that word? But it's like, it's just a body part. Like, we get taught this in school.
Most of the ones that I get are about my neck showing. That's like number one. That's the one that I get guaranteed all the time, and I kind of like don't care anymore. But there will be random ones where they'll be like accusing me of like talking bad about the Prophet. I just want to reply to them and be like, you're stupid.
One that you get a lot is, oh, you know, Muslim women are oppressed, you're oppressed, take it off, why are you wearing it? If it's something like that, I will leave it because I'll respond to them saying that, you know, we're not oppressed, I'm happy with the way I dress. I think debates are fine because obviously people can learn from those debates. But if it's just a general, you know, hate comment that's going to spark other people, like if someone says something against a religion or if they diss someone else or if they're racist, then I delete those because I don't want other people getting affected by their comment. I do have quite a majority of people who are just like, you know, yeah, this is really cool. And that comes from Muslims and non-Muslims. They're both just like, you know what, you're a human being, you can do what you want, and what you're doing is funny, it's not wrong, so go ahead. At the end of the day, people will have their views and opinions. Obviously, you can say something to try and change it, but they're still going to have whatever they want to believe.
I don't know how to define myself. I don't want to be the poster girl for Muslim, American, hijabi, whatever. But at the same time, I feel like I kind of have to ride that, and it's not something that I can just take off.
When I first started out, there weren't that many Muslim YouTubers online, but now because there's quite a bit, there's also quite a bit more of controversy of, you know, these Muslim women being online.
I really do feel that you have to work harder when you cover or when you have something that's so visible, you know, because it's just an automatic trigger for discrimination. Like people just like start watching a video and they see you wearing a scarf or a turban, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, I don't want to watch this.
I think now I think about it because there's other people out there who are just like me. And, you know, we sort of stick together in a sort of sense, even if we don't talk about it.
I think it can definitely get me down. It makes me think, you know, that I'm never going to reach a certain level because of it.
I think the fix that is essentially to come out and speak about it. Because, like, I was thinking about making a video about, you know, feminism and making a video about, you know, misogynists in Islam, so people, you know, understand that, you know, the religion isn't oppressing us, it's these people that's oppressing us.
As far as hijab goes, to me, I feel like people make it like it's this huge part of Islam, and the thing is, it's a small part. Like it is. I mean, the concept of modesty is not a small part of Islam, but covering your head is.
There's loads of people out there who think so many bad things of Islam, but when they research it and they find out more about it, they're just like, oh my God, you know, everything I used to know was a lie.
I want to make videos that appeal to people that are not just like, oh, only Muslim people can understand this.
A lot of people out there don't really know Muslims that well. So I guess if I put something out there more Muslim related that's still relatable, you know, they can sort of see into, you know, our life and be like, you know, oh, you know, they're not crazy, they're normal, they just wear a headscarf, you know what I mean?
Wearing a scarf, being Muslim, that's also something that's like a huge part of my life. So it's not just about erasing that.
I do make some videos purely based around Muslim subjects, but I don't like doing it all the time because people can get offended because everyone's got different views and opinions when it comes to religion.
And I think that's been one of the challenges for me, is to create comedy that's kind of bigger. So I think that's probably my ultimate goal, is to just do that in a way that I can have people of, you know, all different races and religions and backgrounds appreciate my work.
At least 3 times a day I go through everything and just try to reply to as many people as I can, because, you know, they're taking their time out to watch my things and send me a message, so, you know, I can do the same for them.
I mean, sometimes I'll interact like on Twitter, or, you know, people send me messages and I'll reply. I don't always reply.
I started having, you know, people come up to me to take photos or to talk to me, and that's when I was just like, oh my God, this is real. Because, you know, when it's online, it's just like, okay, they're online. You know, you can't see, when you see the people face to face, it's just unbelievable.
I'll be at an event and people come up to me, they're like, you're Tazzy Faye. And I'm like, yeah. I'm not like how I am in my videos, I guess, in real life. I mean, that's all edited. I mean, it's a part of me, but I'm also a little bit like quiet and awkward in real life. So I don't know what to say when people come to me. I
think when it all started out, it was mainly just, you know, Muslim people watching it. But I've noticed slowly with like my content and, you know, as like the years go on, like it's starting to change. So slowly, you know, I'm getting like other people that aren't Muslims watching it, which I think is really cool because, you know, I make my content for everyone.
I think my audience has grown, and I think that the people who watch my videos, they're either Muslim or they are people who kind of have an interest or open-minded.
Some people are just like, oh, you know, you're my role model. I think you're awesome. But then you also have those other people who are just like, you know, you're a role model. You shouldn't be saying these things. You shouldn't be doing those things. And when it comes to that, it's just like, you know, I didn't ask for this. If anything, I'm just a person who makes YouTube videos. It's just like, at the end of the day, you know, you will learn things from loads of different people. You don't have to pick one person to fully follow.